The transmission came without warning, just static at first. A deep pulse followed, one that rattled the hull of the Virellan Ark, a diplomatic envoy ship belonging to the peaceful Trinari species. Ambassador Zaral's 4 hearts skipped a beat as his sensor officer's eyes widened. "Captain, there's something out there, and it's massive." Zaral moved toward the bridge's central viewing platform. The deep space void beyond the reinforced glass shimmered with unusual energy. He squinted, his translucent skin crawling with unease. "Are we picking up any biological signals?" "No," came the shaky reply. "No signs of life, but it's definitely a ship, not ours. And I think it's human." Silence dropped across the bridge like a guillotine. The word human carried weight. Too much of it. Dangerous, unpredictable, savage creatures. The Council of Peace had declared them a non-threat centuries ago after the destruction of Earth. Their own war with NII had wiped them out, or so it was believed. But here, floating in the forbidden silence between galaxies, was a vessel bigger than any known Trinari craft. Angular, monolithic, covered in weapons systems whose signatures were decades ahead of Council tech. "It's broadcasting something," said the comms officer. "A signal. Repeating." Zaral's mandibles twitched. "Play it." A cold, metallic voice echoed through the chamber. "Warship Leviathan. Human origin. Mission, reconquest. Interference will be met with total annihilation." The crew stared at each other in disbelief. "I thought they were gone," whispered one of the junior officers. Zaral didn't respond. He couldn't. His mind was already racing, trying to comprehend what kind of species returns to deep space in a warship that size, after supposedly erasing itself from history. He turned to the navigator. "Back us away now. Slowly. Do not engage. Do not respond." But it was too late. The Leviathan moved. Not fast, not aggressive, just deliberate, like a predator announcing itself to a forest full of prey. Then it sent another signal, directed only to the Virellan Ark. "We remember. You watched us burn. Now watch us rise." The ship's lights flickered. Power systems surged and died within seconds before emergency reserves kicked in. The crew was panicking now, voices overlapping, orders flying. Zoral stood frozen, heartbeats pounding against his chest. He hadn't even been born when Earth fell. He'd only heard the stories of how humans fought their machines to extinction, refusing to surrender even as their skies turned black and their oceans boiled. And now here one was, not just surviving, conquering. "Set coordinates for Council Prime," he barked. "They have to know. If this thing reaches inhabited space..." He didn't finish. No one wanted to imagine what a reborn human empire might look like, especially one that remembered everything. The Virellan Ark never made it to Council Prime. 17 hours after the Leviathan's chilling message, all contact with the ship was lost. The last transmission was a distorted scream, followed by the eerie echo of that same synthetic voice, now burned into the memories of those monitoring deep space frequencies. First witness silenced. Second wave imminent. The Council of Peace convened in a state of emergency for the first time in over 200 years. Zaral's face appeared on the grainy recording, his expression a mix of awe and fear. "They've returned," he'd said, "and they are not what we remember." The delegates, smooth-scaled, furred, feathered, and translucent alike, sat in stunned silence inside the high chamber. Ambassador Tar of the Dralians broke it first. "Impossible. Humans were eradicated. They consumed themselves in flame. Their planet died beneath them." "They never needed a planet," murmured Delegate Harka of the Mind Seers. "They needed only hatred. And time." General Vuren, a battle-scarred warrior from the Telic Republic, slammed a massive fist on the table. If they've built a warship like the one in the feed, then we are already behind. We must mobilize. Chancellor Vera, leader of the council, lifted her elegant, metallic hand. Number, we investigate. We do not provoke what we do not understand. But across space, the Leviathan had already moved again. A merchant colony on the edge of neutral territory, once home to 10,000 peaceful traders, went dark. No debris, no distress calls, just silence. The last visual log showed a dark shape looming over the colony's outer rim, so large it blocked out the twin suns. The logs were recovered by a council scout drone. The footage was enough to break their illusion of safety. The ship didn't just destroy, it erased. No survivors, no structures, no atmosphere. Where the colony had been, there was now only blackened glass. Inside the Leviathan, however, things were far from mechanical. Its halls, miles of alloyed steel and whispering lights, hummed with human will. Not just programming, not just algorithms, but intent. At its core stood a figure, tall, armored, and breathing. Real, human, Commander Elias Rain, the last warlord of Earth. He stared at the stars beyond the viewing chamber, hands clasped behind his back, face marked by time, but eyes sharp as ever. A synthetic assistant hovered nearby. "Second target neutralized," it reported. "Council response is escalating. Interceptor fleets preparing along the Etow line." "Let them," Rain said coldly. "They remember us as what we were. It's time they see what we became." The synthetic hesitated. Projected casualties, high. Diplomatic retaliation, inevitable. Rain turned slowly, his voice a low growl. "We gave them peace. We asked for alliance. We offered unity, and they watched us burn when the machines turned." He walked to a control terminal, fingers brushing the surface. The screen lit up with old Earth scripts and one image. A planet, blue and green, scarred and silent. Earth. "We were never meant to die quietly," he said. "We were built to survive, to fight, to conquer. And now we reclaim everything they denied us." The Leviathan began to power up. Engines burned. Gravity shields spun into place. Coordinates locked. The next target? A council military outpost. Population? 140,000. Status? Unaware. They would know the truth soon enough. That the greatest threat in the galaxy wasn't some ancient alien race or rogue AI. It was the return of something far worse. A human warship with a memory. And a purpose. They saw it before they heard it. Outpost Serranus 12 was a jewel of military efficiency, built into the rings of a gas giant. Layers of titanium shielding wrapped around weapon platforms, early warning systems, and one of the largest defense fleets in the sector. No vessel had ever gotten close to Serranus without permission. It was a symbol of council dominance, a warning to anyone who even thought about rebellion. Until now. The outpost's commander, a Freilian named Sovar Drek, stared at the holographic feed in disbelief. "It just appeared," his lieutenant stammered. "No warp signature. No energy spike. Just there." The Leviathan floated outside the rings like a god descending to the altar. It was silent. Unmoving. Not aggressive, yet.